Hi everyone, this is a video for CCNY Ear Training, Ear Training 1, week 10 maybe? I don't know exactly. I lose track after the midterm time. But this is the first video after last week where we broached the issue of melodic structure and we talked about terms like basic idea and contrasting idea. And this topic is to kind of get our ears used to listening in a way that doesn't just, I think some of us are used to thinking about verse chorus, these larger structures within a tune, and that's great. Those are important things. But within those sections, what's happening melodically, harmonically? What are the actual mechanics, the different ways melodies are deployed and their different effects on us as listeners, as fans, as performers, all those kind of things, right? So that's what we'll continue a bit today. We'll also do something a little new. Well, it's new. It'll be new for you. I've been doing it for you all semester, which is making a melody reduction. Okay, so we'll talk about that. We're only looking at one tune today, but there's, I guess, 4 components to what we're looking at. We're looking at Borderline, the tune made famous by Madonna. I have it here that it's written by Reggie Lucas. Okay, so composed by Reggie Lucas, made famous by Madonna. And the first thing that you're going to do, actually I don't care what order you do this, but one of the things you'll have to do is just sing the melody as written, measures 1 through 16 with numbers. So you'll start, as usual, we start measure 1 with where the melody starts. So the chord progression here, by the way, chord progression is pretty fun, kind of in the verse, pretty repetitive. 2, 3, 4. Right? So cool little chord progression where D, C, and G, basic chords, but we have this descent in the bass. That's more, not necessarily stuff just for harmony class, but we're not dealing with the bass specifically. So let's focus on what's happening melodically. So you'll start with this, and we're in D major, by the way, on 3. 3, 3, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 4, 4. That's how it starts, right? 3, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 4, 4, 4, 6, 6, 2, 6, 5. Sorry. I'm sight reading this, but that's how it starts. And then that repeats, etc. There's some cool melodic things that I won't dig too deep into because you're going to do that for me. But measures 1 through 16, you'll sing with numbers, great, record it, that'll be a file. Now, the new stuff that you're going to do is, 1, you're going to write a reduction for me of this melody, and I'll give you the first measure. And these reductions, there's not just one simple answer, so let's talk about what their purpose is. The main thing is that think about you're reducing this melody to its basic essentials. Think about if you were just to eliminate the syncopation, eliminate whatever kind of ornamentation. So there's less of that in this tune, but little runs that happen that a vocalist does, things like that, right? So if you think about the bare essentials, imagine you were going to write this melody out for a beginner pianist that can't really read rhythms very well, that can't play fast, those kind of things. What would this, if you wanted them to perform this melody at that level, what would that melody look like? As an example, look back at a previous assignment that I gave you, the Can't Buy Me Love. So here, you sang the reduction. Let's look at the original briefly. We're in C minor. So in here, the thing that we reduced to started from measure 5. 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 1, 7, 1, right? And 1, 7, 1, 5, 7, 1, 1. So a lot of syncopation. That whole 4 measures is full of syncopation. But if we're reducing it to its bare essential component, now the word essential is misleading here. Certainly we would say that essential to this song is its syncopation, right? I certainly wouldn't argue. When we're reducing something, it usually comes out way less interesting. But the point of these reductions is to understand how things are working melodically in terms of the very basic melodic shape, the scale relationship, its harmony scale relationship, things like that. What happens is when we reduce these melodies, we tend to get a deeper understanding of their original. That's what I found. And you'll tell me if you agree after you do this exercise. So you're going to write a reduction of Borderline in the same style that I did with Can't Buy Me Love and that we've done with multiple tunes throughout the semester, right? And I've started it for you. You'll see here, I gave you the first measure. 16 measures may sound like a lot, but there's a lot of repetition here, and so it shouldn't be too bad. You're going to write it out, and then you're going to sing it for me. Now, what you're going to do, this might be some trial and error, right? And you'll have to decide what is most important here and what is not. You're going to send me just a PDF or a picture of your reduction. You can write it out by hand. This is not a transcription, right? Because it's your reduction. It's your interpretation. But you're also going to record yourself singing that reduction, okay? So 3 components so far. Singing the original, measures 1 through 16. Reducing the original, measures 1 through 16, in whatever way you find is important or works best, and singing that reduction, number 3. Lastly, I want you, when you send me these things in your email, I want you to give me a couple sentences. This goes back to what we did last week. Just a couple sentences describing the difference between measures 1 through 8 and measures 9 through 16, right? So this verse is broken up. It's a 16 measure verse. What comes after measure 16, we can argue if this is some sort of bridge. I think it probably is. But the verse, measure 1 through 16, is broken up into 2 halves. So I want you to describe, again, a couple sentences, what that difference entails. And you are being descriptive and what we might say empirical, right? I'm not interested in how it makes you feel necessarily, at least not yet, but in musical vocabulary, what happens? What do the pitches do? How long are the phrases? What are the themes, the little melodic themes? Does the rhythm change? Does the direction of the melody, does it more ascending or descending? Anything that stands out to you, I want you to include just a couple sentences and tell me what that difference is, okay? I do not need a whole paragraph. I don't want a whole paragraph. Just if you've noticed a lot of differences, then pick out a couple that stand out the most, right? Or maybe you notice some similarities besides the obvious, which is the chord progression. Okay, so that's it. Again, a little bit longer than normal video today, but shorter than last week, that's for sure. Do let me know if you have any questions about this assignment, and I will see you all soon. Okay, take care. Goodbye.